I didn't watch this yet, so this is going to be a first take.
How do you think about why your companies are able to move fast?
Yeah, I'm constantly
So
addressing.
this is Elon Musk.
So,
He's talking about limits.
I mean, on the deadlines front, I generally actually try to aim for a deadline that I at least think is at the 50th percentile. So it's not like an impossible deadline, but it's the most aggressive deadline I can think of that could be achieved with 50% probability. Which means that it'll be late half the time. But whatever, like, there is like a law of gases expansion that applies to schedules. Like whatever schedule you have, like if you said we're going to do this something in like 5 years, which to me is like infinity time, it will expand to fully available schedule, and it will take 5 years. There's a physical limit. Like that, like physics will limit how fast you can do certain things. Like scaling up manufacturing. There's a rate at which you can move the atoms, and scale manufacturing. That's why you can't like instantly make a million units a year or something. You've got to design the manufacturing line. You got to bring it up. You got to ride the S curve of production. So yeah, I guess I'm trying to think, what can I say that's actually helpful to people?
I get the 50% mark.
I think generally, a maniacal sense of urgency is a very big deal. And you want to have an aggressive schedule, and then you want to figure out what the limiting factor is at any point in time, and help the team address that limiting factor.
So I kind of get what he's saying. What he's saying is that he looks at a schedule. So like he has something to do. He looks at the schedule and he's like, I can get 50% of that done in about 2 months. So what we're going to do, we're going to say that we're going to start producing stuff at 2 months. But he's saying like, but if you have like manufacturing and stuff like that, there's a limit. So like a manufacturer will tell you, okay, it will be done in a week. And you will be like, okay, it'll have to be done in a week. So you get everything done that needs to get done. You get the marketing done. You get the vendors lined up. You get everything done within that 1 week. And then the manufacturer will be like, all right, I just made this in. All right, here you go. It's done in a week. Now, what are you going to do in that week? Okay, everything starts. It expands at that week. So it's funny when I listen to Elon Musk, I feel much better about myself because like you can hear him. He's not the greatest speaker ever. He's really not. Like he's at a very low level of speaking. Like he's like he has just so many ideas, and when he's like trying to connect them, it's hard to connect them. And I have that problem too. So it's like when I hear him, I feel a little bit better about myself. It's like, okay, so you can be smart and sound like an idiot. You know what I mean? Like you can be smart and not make any sense. I do look for that what's it called? That acceptance. It's something like that. It's not acceptance, but like I do look for that recognition from outside sources because I have this problem too. Like the second to last video that I just did, I really struggled on trying to explain what I was trying to say. But what he basically says is a sense of urgency. That's what a lot of people don't have, and that's where a lot of people struggle. They don't have a sense of time. And that sucks for a lot of people. But you got to realize that a majority of the population has no sense of time. They don't. They really don't. It's a scary thing. They are just coasting. Majority of people are coasting. Even billionaires, even millionaires, they are just coasting. They did one thing right, and they're going to keep repeating that one thing over and over again because it works, and they don't have to do much to do it. It's like getting a property, for example. You buy the property, and then all you have to do is keep up with the maintenance. Okay, so you have to change the light bulbs. You have to check the boiler every year. You have to paint walls. You have to, it's simple stuff. So when a person creates something, they look for something that's easy, and then they just keep repeating it. You know what I mean? Like, if you can go for a jog every day, you can go for a jog every day. They look for something that is easy to do. And so when they find this easy thing to do, it's just a repetitive thing. They're not really thinking. There's no thought process behind it. They're just doing what they need to do to get the money, and then they go on their trips. They go to church. They go to the mall. They do whatever they need to do to help them cope with that idea that this is never going to change. This is never going to change. So we do typically need that, but we need it in a different way. Like, for example, I'm looking at myself and I'm like, what do you do differently? For me, there is an end to everything. There is a stop gate. So like, when I was working at Costco, I'm just doing this based off of my own information. When I was working at Costco, I thought that Costco was going to be my end result. Like, I started working at 18. So I'm thinking to myself, I'm going to be 65 years old working at Costco still. But then it was like, no. That's not what's going to happen. At 20 years old, you're going to quit. You're not going to work at Costco anymore. You're going to feel like you're drowning. Now, how can you start swimming? You know, I put myself in a lot of situations where I start to drown because it tells me that I don't know how to swim. You know, there's people that's what I'm saying, how these people are like very comfortable with where they're at. They go into a 3-foot pool and they're like, no, I'm comfortable here. I don't need any more money. I'm just going to keep doing the same thing over and over again. I'm going to walk to the 3-foot. I'm going to walk around in the 3-foot, and then I'm going to get out. But what I do in life, I don't do this while swimming, but in life, what I do is I get into situations where I would drown. And then either I float, either I drown and I die, or I start to swim. It's one or the other. Sometimes I die. Sometimes I straight up die. There's nothing that I can do. I'm drowning and I just drown. End of the line. But there are times where I start to swim. And what I see is that in the situations where I drown, that wasn't the right environment for me. It was storming that day. There were sharks in the pool that day. That's why I drowned. They bit off my leg. And, you know, this world works with equilibrium. And that's where I'm going to stop because my camera's overheating. But like, yeah, you can see where I'm going with this.